Assalamualaikum friends. Today the topic of our video is methods for making phylogenetic trees. Before moving onwards, there's some few basic terms that we all must know. First of all, what is phylogenetics? It is a study in which we see how the individuals of same or different species are related to each other at genetic level. Now, what is phylogenetic tree? A phylogenetic tree, it is also known as evolutionary tree, is a diagram that shows evolutionary relationships among various sequences, various biological species or other entities. There's also another term that we all must know is bootstrap value. So what is a bootstrap value? Bootstrap value is the value that tells us about the quality of the node. It tells us about reliability of the node. It gives us confidence about our node. The threshold value for bootstrap is 70. Higher the value of bootstrap, good is the quality of node. Now, how to make trees? In this video tutorial, we're going to learn about methods for making trees. But how? What are the ways in which you can make these trees? You can make trees manually or by using softwares. So manually, when we make trees manually, it is more intensive, it is more laborious, it takes more time. So it is preferred that we make trees by using softwares. So some of the software listed here are Phylab, Mega, BitNJ, and TreePuzzle. All of these software are free to use and anyone can have access to these softwares. Now coming towards our basic topic about methods for construction of phylogenetic trees. So there are two basic methods by which we can make phylogenetic trees. The number one method is distance-based method. The other method is character-based method. Now, before moving onwards, we must know what is genetic distance. So, genetic distance is defined as number of events or mutations between species since their divergence. Now, keeping this definition of genetic distance in mind, we move towards distance-based methods. Distance-based methods are those methods in which genetic distance is calculated between sequences. These methods use multiple sequence alignment. Examples of distance-based method are UPGMA, neighbor joining, and Fitch-Margoliouth method. Coming towards our first method, UPGMA. UPGMA is a kind of distance-based method. It is abbreviation of unweighted pair group method with arithmetic mean. In this method, sequential clustering algorithm is used, and each species is considered as a cluster of its own. It usually gives rooted tree. This is how a tree made from UPGMA method would look like. So, how to make this tree? There are some assumptions that are made by using UPGMA method. We assume that rate of change along the branches is constant. It means that we assume that genetic distance between branches is constant. We calculate branch length and average the distance between pair. For example, by looking at this tree, we can note that these two species are closely related to each other. These two species are also related to this species, but this species is not very closely related to these two species. Similarly, these three species are related to these three species as well, but these two species are closely related to each other. These two species are closely related to each other. These two are also related to this species, but not as much as they are related to each other. So in the same way, these two species are related to each other, and this species is also related to these two species, but these two species are more related to each other than this species. All of these species are related to each other as well. In this way, we can know that which species is closely related, which species are closely related, and which species are distantly related. This tells us about the number of mutations or the amount of mutations that happened between the sequences. Now, coming covers advantages and disadvantages of UPGMA method. It is a simple method, it is a fast method, and it is widely used method. But this method also has certain disadvantages. It follows molecular clock hypothesis and data is usually not ultrametric. Now coming towards our second method of distance-based method, neighbor joining. In this method, star-shaped tree is made. This method is better than UPGMA in the sense that it gives better results and it is also a rapid method. But in this method, error rate is high and this method also involves biased approach. This is how a tree that is made from neighbor joining method would look like. In neighbor joining method, what we do is that we find neighbor pairs that minimize total branch length at each stage of clustering. Now coming towards character-based methods. The two methods, maximum parsimony and maximum likelihood. Coming towards our first method, maximum parsimony. In this method, all possible trees are constructed and then all these trees are given score on the basis of number of mutations. The best tree is the one that has fewest number of mutations. It means the best tree is the one in which the sequence between species is conserved. This method is preferred over maximum likelihood, but this method is only used for closely related sequences. This is a tree made from maximum parsimony method. Now coming towards our next method, which is maximum likelihood. In this method, we use statistical likelihood for each tree. We calculate statistical likelihood for each tree, but this method is computationally intensive and it is very slow method, but it gives best results. This is a tree that is made from maximum likelihood method. Now, comparison between distance-based methods and character-based methods. Distance-based methods are not computationally intensive. They are fast, they are rapid, but the results are not of very much good quality. Their results are not preferred over character-based methods. Now, character-based methods are computationally intensive, they are slow, but they give best results. Their results are preferred over distance-based methods.